made me who I am today. At the age of 5, I started playing basketball. Wait, let me back up. At the age of 5, I was exposed to sports. I first started with soccer, and I was pretty good at that. I stuck with it for a while. And then it was swimming, and I swear I could barely keep my head above water, but I made it. Then I jumped into gymnastics, and God knows I wasn't good at that. From there, I fell in love with basketball. And I kid you not, I didn't go anywhere without a basketball. Whether I was walking to class, whether I was going home, or begging my parents to please just take me to any gym because I finished my homework. Literally, I ate, breathed, and slept basketball in my core. And no one could have told me I wasn't going pro. Absolutely not. Fast forward into high school. I have a pretty good career. I get a full-ride basketball scholarship. And I kid you not, I couldn't stay healthy to save my life. Talk about being injury prone. Little did people know, I played a little bit of golf in high school. I went from being a collegiate full-ride basketball recipient to finishing my collegiate career as a golfer. That wasn't in the plans. From there, I transitioned into corporate. I went right into sales and finance, but I missed being around sports. And I couldn't shake the feeling. It was just in my gut. Sports made me who I am today. And that is why I want to talk to you about the business of basketball and sports. The business of sports is building the leaders of tomorrow. The business of women's sports is family entertainment, community impact, and role models and mentors entrenched in our communities. Women's sports builds leaders. Right now, women's sports is at an interesting turning point. It could either surge off the momentum of the new age female athlete today, or it can remain stagnant and eventually become obsolete in the eyes of the public. Right now, it couldn't be a better time to be spearheading a women's franchise right here in St. Louis. We have a product that's not going to decline. People aren't going back into the 50s, and women's sports is only becoming more entertaining, more energetic, more athletic, and more exciting to watch. Talk about trajectory. Our trajectory is only increasing. How and why, do you ask? I'm glad. Because women's sports builds confidence. We are only continuing to trailblaze, pioneering, and shatter glass ceilings day by day. Talk about momentum. We are doing that as we talk, as we speak, as we continue walking in our actions right now by the things that have made us up as people. Why is women's sports important? Women's sports is important because it does build leaders. We don't expose our kids at an early age because we're praying they go pro by the age of 5, or at least I hope not, guys. No, we expose our kids to sports and our youth to sports because the skill sets that they learn at an early age, we take with us in our career of learning confidence, the abilities that we're building day by day. Working with people that sometimes we're not always going to like. These are just a few of the skill sets that we continue to build into our career. Sports builds leaders, value, confidence, character. All sports, not just men's sports. The impact of women's sports today is only growing. Interesting fact. 92% of women at the executive level played a sport. 52% of women at the C-suite level or higher played collegiate sports or higher. That's a natural correlation here. Clearly, we're seeing a trend that it builds leaders. So when we talk about providing our kids today and setting them up to succeed, why not provide them with the role models and mentors in the community that they need to see, who are leading and trailblazing, while still, mind you, having their careers as they pursue their passion? We all know the obstacles of women's sports. Right now, I'm sure many of you can think of them in your head right now. Lack of marketing. How frequent do you see women's ads? How often do you see powerhouse women being highlighted in the public arena? How often? These are questions that kind of wonder. It's not that people don't care about women's sports. It's because the majority of the time, we truly kind of never know about it, or we don't know where it's taking place. There's a misconception in the media. If we show too much women's sports, people are going to be like, oh no, turn off the TV. That's not true. People get excited about seeing something different, seeing role models and mentors at another level. And then we have the lack of perception. Women's sports, it isn't real sports. The idea that it's a second-rate version of men's sports is just that, an idea. It's not reality. Then we talk about salaries. Give you guys some food for thought. The average WNBA salary is a little over $65,000. The average NBA salary of the guy that doesn't get off the bench makes nearly over $3 million. The rookie salary in the WNBA, and I mean the top 10 coming out of college from your Baylor, your UConn, your Notre Dame, makes $37,000 with their max player salary cap of $105,000. Now check this out. The NBA player, their max player salary cap is a little over $63 million. What's interesting is that women can make up substantially more money than they do overseas than they do here in state. Yes, we are making progress, but we still have a long ways to go. I am a firm believer, and it has been instilled in me at a very young age, that if better is possible, then good is not enough. And that drives me to continue to strive for more and to never become complacent. We talk about attendance and growth, and some of the things where, oh man, it's just not packed stadiums. Well, interesting, there are more men that watch the WNBA than women. It's not that women don't care about women's sports, and I know that for a fact. I genuinely believe that you just have to rally us. And once you do, you start a movement of a loyal following, of pure excitement, of something to get behind. These obstacles are merely just hurdles and opportunities for change. I love hearing that the idea that women's sports is just nothing than a second-rate version of men's sports. Because I have to reiterate to you, it's nothing but an idea. It's not reality. The surge model of what we're building is far bigger than basketball. How we market our players is completely different. We have taken these opportunities of change and strategically built the structure of the surge. Looking at how we market our players and how we position our players. Our players, we market them as amazing people that happen to be phenomenal athletes. Our vision, again, is bigger than basketball. We are building the leaders of tomorrow, and in return, seeing what they do and influence the next generation. We are focused on today's trailblazers, not today's prophet. And that's foreign and often confused. That often confuse women's sports and men's sports. It's like, wait a minute, it's all about the money, right? No, we're in the business of building the next generation. We're in the business of making and inspiring others and influencing the generation behind them. Changing the perception of women's sports. Showing that these women have powerhouse careers, that are still pursuing their passion day by day with not making close to what men's sports continuously generates. Again, we are making progress, but good is not enough. I love what our players and what we stand for and what we represent. The surge, this is just the beginning. We market our players, again, as phenomenal people and not just athletes. The direction of where we're headed, we're champions on and off the court. Because when you see what we're building, you understand that it is bigger than basketball. You see the reach of building a substantial and sustainable women's franchise, separately structured than the WNBA. Our model is unique and feeds off of what our society is telling us. I can't tell you how many times I hear, women's sports is such a tough sell. I love saying every single time, it just depends on who's selling it. We know that we're trailblazing, but what we are building is a culture, and that will take time. But we are playing a long game of chess, and it's extremely strategic. We're in it for the long haul. We're changing the mindsets. When we go to a Cardinals game, we don't go, oh man, we're going to a men's game today. So why should it be any different for women's sports? We're building a culture, and those mindsets start today. Whether it's little boys or little girls, we've seen the campaigns of Lead Like a Girl. What does that mean? Well, it's no different than taking our little boys to a game, for them to watch the fundamentals of the game, for them to see role models and mentors, and see all Americans in their own. And by the way, all of our players are postgraduates, several of which with advanced degrees. When we first started, no one wanted to touch us. Second year, people were literally just surprised to see that we were back. Third year gave us credibility. And as we surge now into season 4, into our first marketing year, we've established a foundation. We've established a foundation showing that women's sports is viable in this market, building natural, organic interest. Every fan that we have, we've earned. It takes time. We're trailblazing, we're pioneering, we're shattering those glass ceilings. But it takes the support of women like you, of changing that mindset. So if we know what our next generation needs to see, we know the role models that we want them to see, we know that we want them to be engaged in the community and to give back and become these powerful, confident women, why not put the role models and mentors in front of them for them to see? It makes me smile, and it is. The passion is there. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I eat, breathe, and sleep Surge, because it's a bigger picture, it's a bigger vision, and all of us are a part of it for us to continue making the difference of not just about sports, but what we do in our day-to-day lives. Champions on and off the court. Women's sports provides entertainment today and inspiration for tomorrow. Oh. Because what you're watching, yeah, it's exciting, it's competitive, it's athletic. You're seeing women's sports at a whole nother level that we haven't seen for decades. But at the same time, once you ponder on it, you're like, man, that was an exciting experience. You realize how inspirational it is to see those caliber of women pursuing their passion, to see that they all have careers and they're pursuing their dreams. It's inspirational. I wanted to leave you with a quote, Nelson Mandela. It always seems impossible until it's done. Thank you very much. I have the pleasure, as we segue into our break, we hope that you Continue to meet all of our entrepreneurs that are here today for our entrepreneurial showcase, and please feel free to ask me more about the Surge. Thank you.